Go ahead.
Hey guys, Raven here, and today we're going to be talking about the EVGA RTX 3080. And for those of you guys that don't know, this is extremely limited, it's super hard to get, and I was just lucky enough to grab my hands on one. I'm very excited to unbox this. It's going to be a massive upgrade to my existing system, and I'll talk about more about that build kind of later on in the video, but let's go ahead and take a look at this / do the unboxing, right? Now, how I received the 3080 in the first place was, obviously like everyone else, bots got all the initial launch stock for me, and I just had the mind to auto-notify. My current card, the 1080 in my system, is also an EVGA product, and I had a great RMA experience with them to the point where I decided, hey, I'm gonna get an EVGA card no matter what. They truly have the best customer service in the industry. So, it's really in here. Now, in terms of the actual box, just plain black one, all sides. So let's go ahead and remove the wrapper. A lot of packaging on here. Just a lot of packaging. This has weight to it. This has weight.
Yeah.
Like, this is a heavy boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Now, the biggest complaint about people that have these cards right now is the red accent right there. I don't know if you guys can see it well, but there's a lot of red accent, and for this red accent in general, they're not going to be on future cards, or EVGA is doing something that will allow you to swap out the color. But for mine, I'm kind of stuck with the red one unless I do like a teardown and go to the PCB level. I'm going to be buying a Corsair 1000D case, new Ryzen chipset, 5950X, all of that good stuff. So it's just beautiful. Now in terms of, let's look at the actual card itself, right? So this is a 2.75 slot card, and that means you'll need 3 slots to actually fit it in your system. And of course we have our single HDMI port and 3 display ports. Now, one reason to get the Asus over this is the Asus will actually give you 2 HDMI ports, and I'm not talking about the Asus TUF, it's going to be the Asus Strix. And so that is the one downside of getting the EVGA card or any other card that is purely unique to Asus as far as I know at the moment. But EVGA, if you're looking, give us 2 HDMI ports. A lot of people have 2 monitors with HDMI. Not everyone uses a display port, but looking at the actual card itself, like, this is beautifully designed. It has like a lot of print, maybe not print, like texture to it, if you know what I mean. So that's good. So this is going to be a $800 graphics card. That's going to be a $110 premium almost over the Founders Edition. But it does get you that 5% to 7% increase in performance. Now, do I recommend doing that? No, not really. It doesn't make sense for most people unless they're doing a hard overclock. This is also a 3-fin design. If you look at NVIDIA's, they did a whole custom PCB, which is unique because they don't typically compete with their AIB partners like that. But we're going to start seeing that more and more as NVIDIA wants to start cannibalizing that market. Now, what does this mean for NVIDIA shares in the stock market? I see good things, guys. In terms of this launch, this is using a 8 nanometer FinFET, I think, from Samsung. I know it's 8 nanometers for sure. I don't know if it's a FinFET, but the reason why they're using Samsung is because Apple booked up all of Taiwanese Semiconductor's 7 nanometer node. And that's going to be the biggest downside of this card, is because the super cards are probably going to be using TSM's new architecture basically a year from now. That's going to be kind of a cost savings to NVIDIA, a benefit to the consumer. It's not going to be a cost savings for NVIDIA, because what NVIDIA, the rumors are, is that they went to Samsung and basically said, hey, we now have a competitor, TSM, can you give us a much better price? And TSM said, no, we are the best in the world, we're not going to do that. We don't negotiate on price. And that's why they chose Samsung and cheap. Steve from Gamer Nexus or Hardware Unboxing, those guys have already done a full review of the teardown of this PCB build. I'll link them in the description below so you can look at them. But I'm just looking at this purely from an aesthetics point of view, that type of stuff. Now, these are 3-pin. The Founders Edition uses that weird 12-slot 2-pin type thing, but I do appreciate how this is a 3-pin. But this has a 450-watt BIOS. Now, that's much more than the stock 350, and this even normally has a 380, but the VRAMs in here can handle a 450-watt BIOS. What does that mean for actual performance? It means nothing, right? Unfortunately, we're talking like maybe 1 to 2%. OC over the Founders Edition, I've been hearing 5 to 7%. I'll get those numbers much later to you when I do the actual PC build. Right now, I really just want to slot this in. Looking at the back, we know that there was kind of like a small scandal. I don't even know if we want to call it a scandal with the capacitors here. And we see that EVGA is using 2 of the MLCC capacitors, so it should be fine. We don't have to worry about this being recalled or anything like that. It's good to go. In terms of just like the heat sink as well, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is a lot of heat sink, acting as like a massive radiator. Same thing on this side. So overall, I think I have a great purchase on my hand. I'm going to be really happy with it. And the only way to convince me to get rid of this is if I'm able to get my hands on a 3090, which I also have for pre-order. When it shows up, who knows? But guys, do me a favor, do not pay resale on eBay for this. It's not worth it. I heard rumors that basically a month from now, the market's going to be flooded with this. NVIDIA is basically limiting supply so that when AMD launches, they can flood the market with this and get all of that hype and demand to buy their products. Wait for the AMD launch, see what AMD actually has to offer, and hopefully we'll have a really competitive GPU. By the way, I'm getting also the AMD version for my Mac system to basically do an eGPU setup. More about that info later on as well. But otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.